Good morning, everybody. It's me, Jason. I'm sorry that it's taken so long to get another video out, but I'm going through a lot right now, and most of you, if you were going to label it, would not be good. So please forgive me for not putting out a video so quickly. The topic of today's video is going to be the game, the illusion, the show, life, why we're here, what we're doing here. I'm going to cover a lot of topics on it. They're going to be vague. I'll get into it a little bit, but just for the sake of this video, it's going to be just lightly covered. But before I get started, I need you guys, I heard this about 2 years ago when I was doing research on what happened to me. Being a Christian back then, I'm not now. I left organized religion, Christianity especially, because of the lie. But I had to find out what happened to me. What happened to me wasn't what I had expected. I knew that I shouldn't have been in the place that I was. So I had to research what happened to me. I had to find out. And I went on a 3-year absolute research binge. Yes, I've watched videos, I've read books, I have looked up stuff, and I've delved into things that I've never thought I would ever delve into. So for the sake of today's video, let's get into it. I heard this during my research, and it is absolutely mind-blowing, and I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. But we're going to start here. So imagine where we come from. You call it heaven. It's your home. You can call it whatever you want. We live in between time and space. We are not human beings. We are not. The car that we're driving is a human. The body is a human. We are not human, not even close. So where we come from, and I've talked about this in other videos, what are we? We are love, we are light, and we are energy, period. That is all we are. We are love, light, and energy. We are divine, every single one of us here. So, and I've talked about the unconditional love, and many NDEers talk about the unconditional love. That's the only type of word that I can use for that type of love. There's really nothing in the English language or in our vocabulary to accurately describe home. It just does not exist. So I'm going to try and put it to you in these terms. So when you're listening to this, close your eyes in this very beginning and just listen to me, okay? So imagine this. You're in a room. It is the most beautiful, and it's the most purest, and it's the most innocent white you have ever seen. The walls are white, the ceiling is white, and the floor is white. And it is the most profound white that you could ever imagine, the most beautiful white. Now, just hold on to that and see that in your mind. See it, how beautiful it is. Now, you're in that room too, and you're the exact same color white. How do you know you're white? The answer is simple. You don't, do you? Because if all you know is love and light, all you know is that in that room, you are everything in that room. So when we come to the show, when we come to the illusion, we're so eager to come here to experience everything. Now hold on to this. Listen to me, people. We are eager to experience everything that is the opposite of love. You would call that hate, anger, abuse, being punched, robbed, stabbed, raped, murdered. We don't know what that is like. We have no clue what that is like. So we come here for those experiences. And to all of you, even the difficulty that I'm going through right now, it's just an experience. It's not real. Your body experiences, this does. You feel nothing but love. So now take that example of being in that room. Now you say, I'm ready. I want to go back to earth. Okay? So you get with your archangel, you get with your guides, and you sit there and you construct your life. Every part of it that you want to experience. So how do we do that? Well, you get the ideas of what you want to do. Like, I want to go grocery shopping today. I want to go to the mall today. I want to go swimming today. Just like that. Just like we construct our daily lives here. So in order for us to come here, we have to construct that life. So we construct it with our guides, with our archangels, okay? With our archangel, our personal one, that is designed and given to you from your very existence. They will never leave your side, ever. So while you're building that, you are going to your soulmates. And some of the things you want to experience are harsh. Being raped, being stabbed, being run over by a car, falling out of a building, having your arm blown off, or in an accident, your legs are chopped off. To us, in the physical world, that's freaky. But to us, we play around. Oh, look what we look like without our leg. Oh, we'll try it here, we'll try it there. Oh, let me see without fingers. We construct our lives. From the very beginning, we choose our parents. And what I mean by that is from the time we have that set in stone, what we want to experience, then as a soul, a spirit, whatever you want to call it, we're watching our parents from the time they were conceived, watching them grow up as toddlers, so on and so on. We watch because those parents that you picked are the only ones that are going to allow you or give you the best shot for you to accomplish your mission here on earth. And they love you more than you could ever possibly understand. Out of the 8 billion people here on this earth, your children chose you because you and only you can give them what they need to accomplish here on earth, their mission. And to me, that is simply one of the most beautiful things. So as you're constructing your life, you're watching your parents and you're waiting for the time. And when the time comes, you've all seen the movie Avatar. You see him go down the wormhole into his blue avatar. And during that process, when we come here, we choose, listen carefully, we choose to forget who we are, thus giving us the illusion that we are all separate. We are not. We are all one. So with that being said, when we come here, everything that we constructed here is a simulation. It's not real. In our minds, in our physical minds, we have two minds. We have our spiritual mind, which is in there, and we have our physical mind. What gets in the way? Our physical mind. It tells us that we are separate. Causing what? Causing judgment, causing suffering. What is suffering? Right? So we're going to touch on that quick. All human suffering is brought on by judgment. We give ourselves poverty, sickness, cancer, a spousal relationship, or a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship, a fight, a feud, right? Family feuds, right? And it's all fueled by this misunderstanding that we are all separate from one another. And that the universe isn't listening to you, that it's not willing to give you what you want or ask for. And that is a huge misconception. And it is so wrong. And it's part of what I have learned is that the universe is working for you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the universe is waiting to give you everything you need in this simulation. So let's talk about it. The simulation. What is the simulation? It's human life. It's everything that you see here. But what you don't understand is that none of this is real. It's all a construct so that we can come here and live a life, a physical life. And that's it. That's it. You're going to go through the experiences that you wanted to go through. Okay? They're not going to be stopped. It's what you signed up for. When you stood in front of Father with your archangel and with your guides, and you showed him your contract on what you want to experience, Only He or Father can say yes or no. You do not incarnate here on earth just because mom and dad had a good time. No, you stand before Father. And I will explain something about that, which I just recently learned within this last year, how powerful this is. And I'll talk about the transitioning. But for right now, I just wanted to talk about suffering. So many of us are suffering. And it's a mental construction here in the physical realm, all over judgment. When somebody wrongs you, the first thing you want to do is punch them in the mouth, yell at them, scream at them. How do you know that that's something that you wanted to experience, right? Maybe the lesson in that, while he's demeaning you and calling you a bunch of bad names and all this, maybe a couple of the lessons that you needed to learn were patience and forgiveness, right? So instead of spouting off at that person, just say, you know what? In your mind, say, you know what? I love you. I'm sorry. Father, forgive him. And then move on. The two most powerful weapons we have on this earth, on this physical plane, aren't bombs, tanks, the GPS, our technology. One is our mind. Our mind is single-handedly the most powerful weapon we have. And I've said this in my last video about the Bible. This is going to irritate more people, and that's perfectly fine. Jesus and all of us are no different. Jesus is no less divine than you or me. None. The only thing that he had over any of us was that he achieved Christ consciousness in his late 20s, by 26, 27. Now, during that, his baby and toddler and youth stages, he was still in direct contact. He was given downloads, okay? And the reason he got those downloads, and the reason Jesus never suffered, Jesus never judged. No matter what that person was, he loved them unconditionally. I don't care if it was a prostitute, a banker, a shipper, a net mender, didn't matter. He approached that being with love and curiosity and wanted to get to know them. Jesus never suffered because Jesus never judged. And that was a huge download given to me, is when I looked and as I was being held in the light, I began to judge myself. And it was the guilt that Christianity gave me that I lived with my whole life. And as I was being held in the light and love, I began to judge myself horrifically, unworthy of anything that I was being given, the knowledge, the love, the understanding of who and what I am. And the more I judged myself, the more I was loved. Okay, it was guilt that kept me further away from Father by a man-made social construct in the game that I was misled and lied to. We are all one. And from my NDE on until this very moment, I do not judge anybody, because I know that it's just an illusion, that it's just a game, that I came here to experience things, situations, and that is it. And the more people, the negative comments that I get, I forgive instantly, because I know that it was meant to do that. Everything and everywhere you go is simply an illusion. The people you meet in your life are not by coincidence. They are meant to be in your life. You arranged it that way. Your closest friends, your besties, they were all meant to be in your life. It's kind of like if you went grocery shopping. How many in-depth conversations do you have with the 100 or so people in the grocery store? You don't. You have a small talk with the cashier and then you're out. Why? You're not meant to be in their life. You're in the game together. You're all going about your own timelines, doing your own things, but you're not meant to be in each other's life. It's not that you don't love them. You just don't remember them. They love you. You love them. It's part of the illusion. So whatever you're going through, whatever it is, just understand a couple things. That one, you're never alone. And two, it's not real. And to me, that was beautiful. I don't label things anymore. We label things good, bad, right, or wrong. There's none of that. It's a social construct that we create to help ourselves in this physical world. It's like we construct time. So we can construct our day, right? Time doesn't exist. Everything that is happening right now. All over the universe. There is no past, there is no future, there is only right now. And right now is happening in a straight line. You are on multiple earths right now. You are living every single one of your lives right now. Jesus said it in the Bible. Live right now. Don't worry about the past. Doesn't exist, right? You can't change it. Don't worry about tomorrow, because if you're worrying about tomorrow or the future, 10 years from now, when you're standing in the same spot, you're going to go, what the hell? Why? It's because you're stuck in the belief that you're separate, and you're not. So let's talk about separation. We, as part of the human species, come here to Earth to understand that, okay? We come here to understand that we are not separate, that we are all one, and that being separated from your true nature gives you the feeling of being terrified, right? That you're alone, you're in the dark. How many of you like to feel terrified? I mean, I don't. I mean, it's not a pleasant feeling. So it's a construct that your mind and your ego construct. And none of that is true, because we are all one. That we are all part of every bit of the universe. We are the sun, we are the stars, we are the nebulas, we are the dark matter, the gray matter. We are everything. We are all one. And you're going to hear that throughout my videos. You're going to hear that every time I speak, because it is true. You are never alone. No matter what you are going through, you are never alone. And I cannot stress this to you enough. I want you to understand that no matter where you are, what you're doing, who you're with, whether you're alone, in the shower, in bed, being intimate, cooking dinner, your guide and your archangel are right there with you. There is no separation. It is a mental construct in your head, going back to that judgment, causing the suffering, causing everything to what you would call snowball. The wheels on the bus go round and round. So how do we change that? How do we change ourselves from feeling separate and spread out to bring everybody here? Well, we're doing that right now. And it's part of the reason why we're here. So I want you to understand how special you are. In a way, right now, all of the beings that are here on Earth have been handpicked. And this is another question that I ask, is like, why am I here? Why am I here? Okay. Well, I mean, what's so special about Jason Janis? Well, I'm going to tell you that when you constructed your life, and you've heard about this now, it's a topic that is out there, but it's our transitioning. So what is the transitioning from 3D to 5D? The three-dimensional world that you see here, everywhere when you look around, it's 3D. So what is 5D? Changing from 3D to 5D is your consciousness is evolving. Our bodies will evolve to it because we're becoming smarter and we're evolving. So we are in a massive transition from 3D to 5D. Some already have. This August, when I got sick and lost my job, I was in the midst of that. It hit me hard, very hard. I was ungodly sick, lost weight, throwing up. My mind was going nuts. I was literally lit on fire. When I mean lit on fire, I could feel the energy surging through me. I was able to control it and move it down my spine and heal some back pain. It is incredible. We are incredibly powerful. I mean, incredibly powerful. And during this transition, it is vitally important that you understand this, that you are here because you have been handpicked by Father, by God. So and this is through, I do believe I heard this. I was in a meeting. I was like, I didn't want to go. This is going to be the same stuff I already know. But it was Dr. Bruce Grayson. And it was at the end of this hour and a half. It wasn't an interview, but like a seminar. And he said, the fact, and this blew my mind, and this was the answer that I needed, because I've been asking it for a while. Who are we? Why am I here? So he said, the fact that each and every one of you are in this Zoom meeting, that are on this earth, is testament to how powerful you are, how knowledgeable you are. Now, he is a direct channeler of, when I found out through research, through Jesus. Jesus channels through Dr. Bruce Grayson. And he said that the fact that you are here on this earth, right here, right now, is testament to that when you stood before Father. And mind you, there are trillions of souls right now, beings that want to come here, and they are denied. They are absolutely denied by Father, not right now. They want to come down to earth to help in this transition. And only those with the most experience on this earth, or being here on this earth, are here now. Because of your past experiences, you carry the best knowledge and the best wisdom to accomplish your mission. And I was blown away by that. On top of that, when you stood before Father with your contract, with your guide, my guide is Jeffrey, my archangel, my guardian is Michael. So as I'm standing there with Jeffrey and Michael, I'm standing there with two other beings. So there's three of us standing before Father. And the fact that I am here is testament to how powerful I am and the knowledge that I have. And Father said, you go. The other two were not allowed. And the fact that all of you who are listening to this right now understand that you were chosen, handpicked out of those three to be here during this beautiful transition from 3D to 5D. And you, and only you, have the most experience to get it done. That's how powerful you all are. And to me, that just was the icing on the cake. I was like, after that meeting, I couldn't go to sleep all night. I paced the house back and forth. I mean, how profound is that? And when I was in my second out-of-body experience, when I was walking down that beach, and I felt a very strong presence, and I said, who are you? And he says, I'm Jeffrey. I'm your guide. I was like, Jeffrey, man, that's a Toys R Us elephant, man. I mean, giraffe. I'll call you John. So I call him Jeffrey and John. But I said, Jeffrey, how many times have I died? And he said, over 3,200. And I'm 3,200. And the next information that was given to me, I was called ancient. He said, you are ancient. And I kept, what does ancient mean? And then I was pulled back into my body. And I sat there and I'm like, what does ancient mean? And again, I asked, Father, what does that mean? And during another meeting, I was expressing my experiences, and somebody who had been doing research for 25, 30 years on NDEs answered my question. He said, Jason, it is simply because you have been here for thousands and thousands of years helping people on this earth. I was like, wow. And I'm like, just because I've died over 3,200 times, we don't start out here. Earth is single-handedly the hardest place to incarnate in this galaxy, in our galaxy. There are a couple other planets out there that are a tad bit harder or just as equal to, but right now, Earth in our galaxy is simply the single hardest to incarnate into. Why? One, we forget who we are, and two, free will. What is free will? Do you have free will? I get this question asked a lot. Do we have free will? Well, I will answer it this way, and if you want more clarification on it, I'd be more than happy to, but I will leave it at this. You have free will only to the extent that you know you have it. And I will leave it at that. And if you want more, leave it in the comments. We can talk about it. And in that process of free will, we have the ability to manifest. What is manifest? Manifest goes back to that contract that you signed, okay, with Father to come here. You're here. You're not happy with it. I don't like being poor. I really don't. I don't like living less than paycheck to paycheck. It's miserable. So who's creating that? I am. How? I make it happen every day through my woe is me kind of thing, right? Throughout my whole life. And now the last 3 years have changed, but I've had over 49 years of manifesting the lowest things that I could possibly manifest, right? So now during this 5D transition that I had, I began to manifest. I began to meditate. I began to change my contract. Manifest. What does that mean? It means you are changing why you came here. You're not happy in your life. You're not happy in a marriage. You're not happy in your job. You're not happy with anything. Change it. How? Here. Meditate 2 or 3 times a day. And when you meditate, you are telling the universe that you are not accepting what is going on and that you want that change. So give yourself 20, 30 minutes twice a day. In the morning before you go to work, before you go to bed. Make it happen. If you're not happy with it, change it. How do you change it? You give it to the universe. The universe is waiting to give you everything you've ever wanted and desired. Most of you guys don't even understand that. It's waiting to give you everything you've ever wanted, right? But you have to be willing to receive. It's good to give, right? It's good to help that person that fell down. It's good to give that person to help them pay for their groceries or walk them across the street or take that phone call. Go for a walk with somebody. Be an open ear. It's good, right? Absolutely. It's beautiful. There's no better feeling. But what most people fail to understand, and I am the biggest one, and this I just found out a few months ago, even after my NDE, I realized I was missing a key feature. I wasn't willing to receive. Okay? When somebody would say, Jason, I was like, or, you're so handsome, or I'm just a man. No. I failed to receive. So the universe, as I said, is willing to give you everything you wanted, right? And it's giving you stuff. All of a sudden you'll get this breadcrumb and you're like, look at this. And next, but you keep with that physical mentality that I'm no good, that I'm this, and so what are you creating? You're lowering your vibration. And it's like, well, what do I ask for? It's like if you walk into a restaurant, right? You're hungry. You want to get something to eat. So you sit down at the table, waitress finally comes over. You hand her the menu and she says, what would you like to order? I'm hungry. Now you get your plate of food, it's not what you want. Does the universe know what you want? No. Is it waiting to give you? Yeah. So if you're not asking for what you want, if you're not getting into that, raising that higher vibration, the universe doesn't know what to give you. So it's going to give you a P every now and then. Do you want a P? No. I want a better job. I want a better house for my family. Be specific is what I'm trying to say, right? Be specific in what you want in the game. Change the rules. Change the contract. Okay? So when you meditate and you put it out in the universe, that's great. Now be willing to receive. Say, I am willing to receive. I trust in the process. Because this is all a process. It's all a game. Believe in it. If you believe in that none of this is real, then where is the fear? Fear no longer exists. It's not real. Is it? No. So give the universe what you want. And don't be afraid. There's no right or wrong or good or bad. Give the universe what you want. So these last few months, I have been manifesting a new life. So as I'm trying to find work, and what was the old me, have I found it? Nope. Why? I've changed the rules. I've changed the game. I've manifested a new life. Now here in the physical, that takes time. I know I said time is an illusion like everything else, and it is. But in the physical world, it takes time to reach us. It's not a direct manifestation like you hear others in the void. Well, I had a hellish experience, all the demon. No, they just manifested it. The void is simply 100% pure, unfiltered consciousness. When you think of something, it instantly appears. It is right there. Like if I want a cell phone, it's right there. If I want to see God, it's right. Whatever it is. But whenever you're in the dark, when the dark, pitch dark in the void, you're not thinking of puppy dogs and kitten cats. You're scared. So what do people do that are scared? You start creating things that aren't there, that are scary, that are demons or whatever you want it to be. So down here in the illusion, in the game, you can change the rules through that manifestation, through that giving the universe what you want and trust in it. When I say trust in it, you cannot have any doubts at all about what you're asking for or wanting. And just realize that it's just going to take a little bit of time. In the situation that I'm in now, with 3 months of no work, because I have been truly manifesting a new life, a new Jason. Because who I thought I once was, prior to my NDE, I'm not Jason Janis. I am the direct manifestation, as you all are, of God. Okay? We are all gods. So what does that mean? We can change. So I'm here to tell you that your fear is brought on by yourself, that we are all separate. We are all individuals. We are not. We are all one. And when you can realize that, every person on this earth is you and you are them, there's nothing to fear. We all manifest our lives. The lives that we are living in right now, yours, mine, whatever, are direct manifestations of our own fears that we have created through our physical mind, through the ego. And now as I have kept my foot on my ego's face, he comes up a little bit. When I hear him coming up to put these stupid, you're going to get... No, keep your foot on his face. Keep him down. You can't get rid of your ego, but you can keep him down. So when you can keep him down and out of the equation, you can start to see things. And I'm still here because I still live in a little bit of fear. I haven't had a job. Bills are going unpaid. Car payments aren't being made. Rent isn't being made. You start to manifest the worst things possible. And I already know that I'm fine. I already know that this is a situation that I created, that I've gotten out of, that nothing's going to happen to me. So we are in control of everything. We are in control of our transitioning right now. And again, your transition is simply that of consciousness. Your consciousness is evolving. It is going way up. Meaning what? We are becoming smarter, much smarter. What does that mean? Well, as I said, one, we're becoming much smarter. Two, as in my transition that I just went through, and I'm still going through it, I have no desire to eat. My eating food has gone, I mean, talking plummeted. There are days where I'll eat a half a sandwich and I am so full I can't even eat. And today, it is 11:15 in the morning. I haven't had anything to eat. And I am not hungry. By the time I eat a little something, it might be later tonight. So during that transition of consciousness, that is part of our evolution. And that is just what's happening with me. So you are all divine in nature. There's no getting around it. That is who you are. Again, direct manifestations of God. And that you are going to transition in your own way, in your own time. You will not get left behind. Nobody does. All right? And remember that you are divine, that you are one, and that there is no separation from anything. When you look around this game, when you look around this simulation that you're in, tell yourself, none of this is real. None of this can hurt me. Okay? And the biggest step in that was when I left organized religion. I left Christianity. Everything that I was ever taught was a lie. Everything. And it was given to me. It was shown to me. And I can no longer sit on the sidelines. I thought I'd be okay with just doing some interviews and talking to people and just giving my experience. It's not good enough anymore. I'm constantly getting this in the side of my ribs, like more in depth. Let's talk. Let's go. And it's unrelenting. It's unrelenting, guys, ladies and gentlemen. It's my life now. And I know the reason why I incarnated here on earth, why I went through 49 years of hell. All of these experiences that I had have led to my NDE. And now that I'm manifesting this new life, everything that was the old transparent Jason has now moved into what I am doing. I have built a website. I have done countless interviews. I'm still doing interviews. And I have started my own YouTube channel, so I can put these out without it being filtered, without somebody else editing out important information. So what's happening is we're evolving around the world. You're seeing another war start, right? Between Israel and Hamas, the war in Ukraine. But we really need to pay attention to what's happening in Israel, okay? Right now, and I've said this in other videos, and I don't want to get into it too much. World War III is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Can we change it? Can we make it not happen? We can't, but it's going to come at a big price to the human species, okay? So World War III is coming. Right now, the world, we're over 50% there of World War III starting, right now with Israel and Hamas. It's coming. The viruses that we see, the pandemic that hit, and now the uptick in other harder viruses coming out from COVID, right? And more advanced strain. They're all for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Designed by us to help the transitioning of our consciousness. And I know that seems far out to you guys, that why would we start a war? Because you're thinking with a physical mind. Don't think with your physical mind. Get into your consciousness and who you are. Everything is for a bigger picture. You're caught up in the here and now. What's going on? You're seeing the news. Oh my God, Israel's going to invade Hamas. Millions. They're telling over 1 million people to move in less than 24 hours? How is that physically possibly going to happen? You can't. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're well over halfway to World War III right now. We can fix it. we can change that outcome. I've told people in my interviews that world peace is coming. World peace is going to be here. Some say in about 100, 150 years. It's coming sooner. I'm going to change that to about 60 to 80 years, just because I assumed that the information that was given was going to be World War III was going to start in about 70 or 80 years. I feel it's coming much sooner. I feel it in me. I feel it everywhere. And the situations here on Earth, the wars, again, go back to judgment. We're all judging one another. What if we just stopped and we said no more judgment? Would the war in the Ukraine happen? Nope. The war that's about to take place in Israel and the Middle East? No. We would all be in perfect harmony. And that is the lesson, ladies and gentlemen. That is the lesson. Love yourself. Love yourself like there's no other. And if you love yourself like there's no other, then love your neighbor. And if you love your neighbor, love the next neighbor and love the next neighbor, because they are you and you are them. And once we reach that, the game's over, right? The game's over. The show is over. You won the illusion, didn't you? I do want to touch on this real quick. It was something that I was asked, is what is karma? Some people say, or most of you believe, that karma is something that you've done in your past life and you're going to make up for it now. Like if you disrespected somebody or you beat them up or you call them names, it's going to come back to you tenfold. No, that is not it. Karma is simply doing. It's the definition of doing. So it's not a question of you done it or they done it, but it's a question of you done it, right? Because it means, karma literally means doing. So my karma right now is talking to you guys. I'm making a video so that you guys can better understand. That's karma. It literally means doing. So if you're cooking dinner, that's your karma. You're cooking dinner. Now leave it at that. That's all karma is. So if you're cooking dinner, I guess you can turn that into free will, right? It's my free will to go cook what I want. And there's your doing, right? That's your karma. That's all it is. So to get out of the illusion, to get out of the game, we have to stop judging. Judging is causing all of our ulcers, our cancers, our diseases, our fears, our family entanglements. You're labeling them and judging them as unworthy or whatever it is that you're doing, right? If we're all direct manifestations of the divine, which again is the Ruach Adonai, right? In Hebrew, the divine in us, being the direct manifestations of God, being God, there is no us. There is this. And the sooner you all realize that, the sooner you will live a life like me, without fear, and knowing that everything is all right, that it's just a game. I love you all so very much. I do. And I thank you for all the support that you have given me. I have watched this channel go from nothing to, it's almost at 2,000 views in less than a month. I was horrified to give my testimony. I paced this house for 2 years, terrified that nobody was going to believe me. They were going to think that I'm nuts. Nobody. And then I said, Father, nobody's they're gonna call me a liar, a fake, a fraud, a this or a that. They're gonna say I'm just basically full of, and when I gave my first interview, I'm not flying around the universe. I'm not all of these things. I was left in my ICU room at the top of the ceiling, right? But somehow, when I gave this interview, it has touched so many people, my NDE. And I was completely, as I am now with you guys, completely floored. And I can't thank you enough. This is not what I wanted. I simply told my story, and I'm telling you guys these things now because I don't want you to live in fear. I want you to understand who you are. That was Jesus's message. Wake up, people. Realize who you are. You are all God's. We are the direct manifestations of God's. So upon putting that out there about giving you my story, I was terrified nobody was going to believe me. And I knew that I was going to get slammed by some people. And the first few times that happened, I remember jumping up off my couch saying, see, told you, I told you, I told you. And then all of a sudden the words came, forgive. Because this was my challenge. I knew I was going to be put in a position where people were going to say bad things, right? Or not believe or whatever. And when I heard the forgiveness is now I look at people's comments and I know that if they were harsh or whatever, that I've touched a spot within them that they know is correct, right? Why are you getting mad? Right? Why are you getting angry? Because you know what I said is the truth. And there again comes the judgment. There comes the fear, and the wheels on the bus go round and round, ladies and gentlemen. So I am eternally grateful for all the support and love that I have been given from each and every one of you. I love you all so very much. I want you all to reach your true potential. Don't live in fear. If you want something changed, manifest it. Think it. Give it to the universe and make it happen, because I can assuredly tell you 100% that it will come true. The universe is ready and working for you. Because you are the universe. I'll leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen. If there's something you want me to talk about, I have another video coming out. It's going to be a hot topic. It's a question for the last 2 years that I get consistently about sex. And again, it's going to be a hot topic. So hopefully I will get that out next week. Things are starting to turn around for me. Things are moving. Just took a little bit of what we call time. So if you want me to talk about something, ladies and gentlemen, please, please, please put it in the comments. I do read those comments. I get to them as quickly as I can, and I will answer them for you. And if there was something in this video that you wanted to have more in-depth, put that in the comments. I would be happy to go into that or create a new video for that. Again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I love you all so very much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I know I covered a wide range of topics. I tried to stay within each sub-level, but something pops in and I've got to talk about it. So put it in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. I love you very much, and you'll hear from me soon. God bless.